Welcome back to episode 47 of the Shy Sports Weekly podcast. What's up, folks? We got a good show coming your way. We had an interview that I was actually MIA for, couldn't make it, but it was with our guy Zain Bando. You might know him from storming the court at the U of I. I'm blanking on who they're
Iowa.
playing.
Was it Iowa?
Yeah, Illinois, Iowa last week, where Illinois clinched the Big Ten regular season, a co-share of the Big Ten regular season title.
They won on their home court.
Yeah, kind of went viral for storming, but yeah, he's just dude knows his shit. He knows you're gonna want to listen. He knows a lot about college basketball. He'll be a good listen.
Yeah, stay tuned. This is your special episode for picks of the week. I'm assuming you got some good knowledge for the tournament.
Yeah, we got good picks mostly because you weren't giving them.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, when you chugging that gallon of milk here?
Hey, listen, people are starting to murmur.
Earlier today, and by earlier I mean like an hour or two ago, I was thinking about that, and I was like, wow, seems like they kind of just forgot. This is cool.
I did until you brought up the picks. I completely forgot.
Don't forget, and just remember that.
People don't forget. Max, your hair looks phenomenal, by the way.
Thanks, dude.
Ty, yours doesn't.
What do you mean, bro?
Oh, what's up, dude?
This shit's top notch, dude.
Put that hat back on now.
Keep that hat on year round, please.
Just cover your whole face with it too while you're at it.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into some number 47s. Ty, can you name any number 47 in any sport?
Probably, definitely not. And a name that comes to mind, and I know it's not his number, but you tell me 47 sports player, I'm thinking Tom Glavine for no reason at all.
He might be 47. Let's see. Tom Glavine. Hold on.
Probably 12.
Number 47.
Is he really?
I feel like he is a 47.
No way.
Tom Glavine on the spot. And he delivers. And he delivers.
You shouldn't feel that good about it. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Wow. Well, I feel great about it.
Wow. Max is just a fucking prick right now. Drinking that Pamplemousse LaCroix.
It's berry, actually.
You ever seen a moose, dude?
But
all right.
Change.
I'll give you a 47. Chicago related. Peanuts Lowry.
Who the fuck is Peanuts?
Is that a seasoning salt?
He played for the Cubs in 1949.
Wow. I'm going to save my worst for first. I'm going for number 47, Chris Conti.
Yeah.
We are the first ever anti-Chris Conti podcast.
Way to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be said. It did.
Yep. I'm going to stick with the Cubs for now. We'll go in a more positive direction. Miguel Montero. We are good.
Holy fuck. I forgot about him. Him and his tweets, we are good.
All right. Tell me what the first memory of Miguel Montero is that pops in your head. And I'll tell you if I was thinking the same thing.
Of Miguel Montero?
Yeah. I guess there's two that I would say.
Is it just him screaming into the mic? We are good. We are good.
No, I already gave that away. Wait, he hit the walk-off grand slam against the Dodgers.
Oh, I was going like in chronological order. Oh, yeah, of course. October 15th. Yeah, of course I know that fucking. You're saying just the first over, like just general or my favorite?
Yes.
Miguel Montero memory? Yes, of course that against Joe Blanton, former Coug. Shout out Joe Blanton.
Or the other answer that I was going to say is acceptable is his opposite field single in Game 7 of the World Series.
People forget that. Very underrated moment. People forget that he caught the bottom of the 10th for the Cubs in the World Series. I wonder how many teams have won a World Series Game 7 with 3 different catchers behind home plate.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I'm going to say not many.
I'm going to say none. And Ty, I know for a fact there's no way you can look that up. Don't even try, but we're going to say it's none.
Don't rack your brain.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't try even if you told me I could find it. So that's where we're at.
There he is. All right, I'm going number 47 on the Hawks. John Quenneville, Joel Quenneville's nephew.
So I noticed that. I was actually going to drop that name and then ask you if he was related to Joel Quenneville, but you beat me to it. So
nephew, yeah. Not too many Quennevilles running around out there. He sucked. He's not good. He was a first round pick actually, but yeah, I don't even know what team he's on now.
So when they picked him, it was at least vindicated, there was
logic behind it. I think he got traded to the Hawks for John Hayden.
Got it.
Yeah. Speaking of great hair, John Hayden, look him up. He's got phenomenal hair. Great lettuce.
All right, I'm gonna go Johnny Morris,
What team? What
All-time.
sport?
all-time leading receiver in Bears history.
Johnny Morris. I thought that was Johnny Knox.
He
That was
had
Johnny Bravo.
He has over 5,000 yards receiving with the Bears between 1958 and 1967.
Johnny Morris. Wow. I never would have. You could have gave me, I don't know, unlimited guesses. I never would have guessed that.
There you go.
So shout out our guy, Johnny Mo. All right, my last number 47. I didn't look up anything for the Sox or the Bulls. I'm just going lefty, Scott Air.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say him, but glad you cleaned that one up. I'll end it with a powerful one, Rusty Kuntz.
Oh,
What a name.
why are you giggling, Ty?
You get it, dude.
Yeah, Rusty, it's
rhymes
hilarious.
with.
Kuntz. Phenomenal.
Sounds
Phenomenal
like.
name. Kuntz. So Max, real quick, we'll get into it, I guess, later with the Zan interview. But March Madness, what's your final four right off the bat?
To be honest,
So everybody fade these picks.
I was literally finishing my bracket as we were jumping on the interview or the show here. Definitely, I'm gonna have Kansas. I'm probably gonna have either Villanova or Tennessee beating Arizona,
Mhm.
and then let me get to the other side of the bracket for you real quick. I'm gonna be tempted to put Purdue in there, and if I don't, it'll be Baylor. And then in the West, yeah, it's gonna be Gonzaga.
Surprised Max doesn't have Notre Dame in the Final Four, dude.
I'm kind of shocked they were playing. They got screwed a little bit, in my opinion.
In what sense?
Well, why should they have to play an extra game? Let me check what their record is real quick for you. But
I think they're going to lose to Rutgers, and so does our guy Zan, but no spoilers. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Zan actually has he says he thinks Rutgers is going to win a couple games.
okay.
And you know what? He said it so confidently. I think I'm just going to bet it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean
I have no
Alabama is a beatable team. So
I think Alabama sucks.
The state as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't just talking football or basketball.
you know what? I think regardless of who wins that playing game, I think they're going to beat Alabama, Notre Dame, or Rutgers. You heard it here first.
That's what we were talking about as well. Well, let's start off with some non-Chicago news. How about Tom Brady coming back?
I wish I could say I was surprised.
Nobody was surprised.
It would have been more surprising if he actually stayed retired, but there goes the neighborhood.
He spent 2 months at home with his wife, and he's like, I can't do this shit. So I'm going to just go play football again.
When I saw the alert, I was like, is there another tweet below it that says Tom Brady or Giselle is also filing for divorce?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was 39 days that he was officially retired, but I mean, not very surprising, I guess.
They're just going to trounce the NFC South once again.
Yeah. He looked at who was on who the quarterbacks were in the NFC South. He's like, why am I retiring? This is a cakewalk.
I could run 5 more.
I think what he did is he retired and then he hammered a future on the Bucs to win the Super Bowl next year, and then he announced he was coming back.
Old hockey trick.
Yeah. Old Calvin Ridley trick.
Oh, yeah. How about that? What the hell?
So bogus, dude.
There's no way he only bet $500, right? Or $1,500.
What he says. It's bogus, but I'm not surprised that they made an example out of him.
No, I don't think he should have been made an example out of, but I'm a proponent. He didn't bet for his team to lose. He didn't bet for his team to lose, so who cares?
No, he didn't. But I mean, and that's sound logic, but that's just not how sports operate.
I mean,
I'm dumb.
I mean, I know I'm like the epitome of sound logic, so thank you. All right, let's get into some on this days here. It's a lot of, especially this time of year, a lot of college basketball, a lot of March Madness, which is the best. So we'll start off with a pair of games in 2018. This first one's gonna be March 15th, 2018. This is Loyola Chicago as the 11 seed in the first round. Dante Ingram, I don't know why I said that last name so weird. Dante Ingram drains a buzzer beater to win the game for Loyola Chicago. And then you scroll, let me see here, the second one for Loyola. Of course, I can't find it right now. March 22nd. There, I guess this is the Sweet 16. So March 22nd, 2018, Loyola beats Nevada 69-68 to advance to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1963. So let's get it right into it. Loyola Chicago. 1, Sister Jean, she's a witch. 2, they're going to make another run this year.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Do they still have Krutwig?
No.
Okay, he's done.
I
He's
tried
from
to get.
Algonquin, by the way. Shout out the hometown kid.
Why don't you get him on the pod?
Yeah, because he wants to talk to me, dude.
Anyone within a 15-mile radius of Crystal Lake automatically gets a shout out.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What do you got on Loyola, Max? You think they're going far?
I mean, it's hard to doubt them. Obviously, they don't have Krutwig. They don't have Porter Moser. They still have Sister Jean.
Is she 100?
She's not. She's like knocking on the door.
She might be 1,000.
9 maybe, but I think she is 100.
She's 102.
Damn,
Holy
bro.
fuck! She's up there with like Aroldis Chapman gas right now. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
she's got throwing numbies around.
it wouldn't surprise me if they made it to like the Sweet 16 or something.
So I gotta ask
Count them out.
on the on the Loyola run from a couple years ago, who was your favorite Cinderella run of all time? I'll say besides Loyola a couple years ago.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
ask hard hitting questions here.
I feel like I'm probably forgetting a favorite. But George Mason was fun because that was like the first one.
Mm-hmm. In 2006.
Yeah, UConn did it a couple times.
But no, I almost think like, so last year UCLA was an 11 seed, made it to the Final Four. I know, was it Kentucky as like an 8 seed made it to the national championship game? I don't count when those, like, I'll say blue blood schools are lower seeds. I don't really consider that like a true Cinderella run. Like VCU a couple years ago, VCU with Shaka Smart, did they not make it to the Final Four?
I think they did one year.
Like, who has VCU in the Final Four ever?
Right.
You know, so shit like that. Obviously, Loyola Chicago.
Butler was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, back in, was it with Gordon Hayward in 2010?
Yeah, and they lost in the championship to
Duke. Which actually brings up a better question. When is Duke going to lose?
I don't know. They're stumbling into the tournament. I feel like it's going to happen early.
And I can't wait. I think they're going to lose in the second round. It's going to be probably to Michigan State or Davidson. I don't care. I don't give a fuck who beats them. I would actually lose my mind if they lost to Cal State Fullerton.
Duke nowadays is much different than the Duke growing up, the Duke that we watched growing up. Now it's like I literally don't trust them past the first weekend, no matter what seed they are.
Yeah, I mean, so Gonzaga's the number 1 overall seed, correct?
Yep.
So they're the 2 seed in Gonzaga's region, which means they're, I guess, the 8 seed overall.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. They have they play Michigan State, then Texas Tech, and then Gonzaga. Like, they're not getting through that, which is, I actually don't hate that by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, that's what we got for Sister Jean. Shout out her. I can't believe she's still living. I don't want it that bad. I hope she lives forever.
I have them beating Ohio State in the first round for sure.
Everybody does.
Problem is they're going to run into Villanova, and Villanova is like
a wagon.
Yeah, they're like the perfect team for the tournament. They make their free throws. They shoot like 80 or 90% from the line, and they're efficient on offense and defense.
I wonder what like the win percentage is for teams who in the regular season are just great free throw shooting teams. Teams that shoot, like, I'll say as a team, like 80% at the line. I don't even know if a team shoots 80% at the line. But I'll tell you what, especially in March Madness, there no overs ever dead. Teams are fouling like down 11 with like 30 seconds left. It's like, just give me the point.
Those are good teams to bet on too, one way or the other, because at the end of the game, if they're getting fouled, they're going to make their free throws.
Nothing pisses me off more than when I have the over and teams are just rimming free throws out, especially on 1-on-1s. It's like, what are we doing here? Come on, put the biscuit in the basket.
That's my tip on Villanova for you.
That they make free throws?
Yes.
And Jay Wright's hot as shit.
Do with that what you wish.
Speaking of somebody who probably never missed a free throw, let's go back to March 18th, 1995. Michael Jordan released a fax Do you know what the fax said?
I'm back.
I'm back. I'm back.
Short and sweet.
Then the next day he returns wearing number 45. I mean, we don't have to go into Jordan talk, really, but we can just gush over him and how he's better than LeBron.
I mean, I feel like you hit it. You hit all the key points.
I mean, yeah, we don't even have to go over Jordan.
The rest is history.
Trust me.
I will say this. I saw something today on Twitter, and it was something along the lines of like arguing for LeBron being better than MJ. And it's like LeBron's got more assists, LeBron's got more points. It's like, yeah, LeBron's also played more fucking seasons. So of course that checks
Right.
out.
I think LeBron's kind of a pussy, but I mean,
Yeah, you and me both.
LeBron didn't miss a season and a half in his prime either.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out there too.
yeah. Real quick before we jump into the Zain Bando interview, let's talk baseball. Holy fuck! Does it not feel good that baseball's back?
It's all is right in the world. Well,
Like-
not really. That's
That couldn't be further from the truth.
yeah, that was phrased poorly, but
In
All
this
is
sense of in our world, in our
Yeah.
Zoom here, everything is right in the
all
world.
is right in the sports world.
Well, not even that.
All is right in the baseball world.
And the Cubs fandom world. Let's go. We're back. God, it's so good to see just Wilson and Hendricks and fuck. I was so happy to see Frank Schwindel. I was so happy to see Frank Schwindel. Games are back this week. They start on Thursday. Cubs Sox. Like it's just gonna be so good to turn on the TV.
It also it reminds you that good weather is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, not to brag. I'm flying out to Phoenix tomorrow, and it's supposed to be mid-80s all week.
Not to brag, but I'm gonna brag.
Not to brag, but you can keep
Not to be that guy, but mid 80s, kind of too hot. I'll be honest.
shocker. So that's the guy wearing a skull tight hit hat.
Actually, this thing's looser than loose. Also,
Tom never fails to drop a cold take.
well, here's my cold take.
I
Shout
know.
out, shout out to
80
your
degrees,
boy.
a little too hot.
Shout out to your boy Drew, who I don't even know, but yeah, March Madness overrated, bro.
Drew's gonna appreciate that one.
Hi, what do you think are like your coldest takes all time? Like your most controversial opinions?
Where do you want me to begin? I mean, that's tough.
No, it's
Probably
not
that
good.
potato salad is a summer dish.
That could be definitely one of my colder
That's
ones.
outrageous. What was,
Uh,
what
But you
was
said,
the
you said
argument there?
something. You said something really controversial one time. I can't
One
remember
time
what
he
it was.
says it's like once an episode. We need to get that sponsored. Ty's controversial take of the episode.
Yeah. I don't know,
Ty's
man.
tumultuous takes.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I can't
That's
say that.
that's a
word.
tongue twister. Say that.
sponsored
5
by the
times
Titty
fast.
Bar.
I'll
No,
think
there
on it.
was-
I'll sleep on it.
Damn,
and I'll let you
what
know.
was that one? I think we were doing a starting 5, and me and Kyle were both just like, "What?" I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go
That he
back.
doesn't
and
like
find it.
stuffing.
Hey, remember years back, Max, when you had a different podcast before I even was doing my Pittsburgh one,
Yeah.
and it was during Halloween time, and we did top 5 candies or something.
Yes.
And I put
What'd you pick? Good and
I put
Plenty?
almond joys in there, and you guys ripped me apart, dude.
You put almond joys in your top 5 candies.
I love almond joys.
You were living in the Stone Ages with
Yeah.
Almond Joy. Like it
Big
was a
fan.
1960s pick.
Ty, what kind of phone do you have right now?
It's an Android. It's a
Like when was the last time you upgraded your phone?
He's got a BlackBerry.
5 years ago, maybe.
I just knew that was the
It's a sidekick.
Sidekick. Yeah.
like you just don't upgrade anything.
I'm gonna
Like that
against
hat-
the
when was the
grain
last time?
kinda guy.
When was the last time you like? Or when did you get that hat? That pit hat?
Last winter, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
How about? And you said you got that orange hat not too long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that kind of goes against my argument here, but at least the Android thing fell in my favor. I'm
Yeah.
1 for 3 here.
All right, Kyle. Before we kick it over to the interview, I have a question for you about Big Ten basketball.
All right. Lay it on
Tom,
me.
you could answer too. I'm trying to count how many Big Ten teams made the tournament.
9.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I want to say it's 9. How many do you think make it past the first round?
So you're saying like make it into the round of 32?
Yeah.
I don't think Ohio State will.
I'll just guess and say
I-
3.
Don't think Indiana will.
Let's say over under 5.
Over.
Ooh, so you think 6, huh?
Or 7.
or 7 or 8.
I think I'm gonna say under.
All right, I gotta pull up the bracket. I just literally just exited out, of course. Let me see here. Hold on. Give me a second, everyone.
The Big Ten literally folds and collapses come tournament time just about every year.
All right, here I got the bracket. I'm pulling it.
Who was the last Big Ten team to win it all?
Probably Illinois in '89. I don't know. I don't know
Michigan
who
State in 2000.
All right, so I'm Illinois. I have Illinois making it past. I don't have Michigan, not Ohio State. Iowa, Wisconsin, Purdue,
Assuming you have Purdue, that's 4.
Michigan State,
5.
and then I have Rutgers
you have
6.
So you have Rutgers winning the play-in. Do you have them beating?
Yeah, and then I had
Alabama?
If you
Okay.
showed up to the Zain Bando interview, you would know that I have Rutgers.
All right, so you
Me
have
and
6.
Zan, I just said that I have Rutgers winning 2 games because Zan does.
So you stole his pick.
No,
Pick.
no. I mean, I didn't steal the fact that I was going to choose whoever won that game to beat Alabama, but then he convinced me to take Rutgers, and I always said yes.
All right, who's your championship?
I think I have. Was it Kentucky, Arizona?
Okay.
If
I have
again,
Kansas, Gonzaga as of now, but I'm sure it'll change.
as of now, that's going to change a million times.
Right.
It's going to change like the weather changes.
Exactly. That's literally like, yeah. I don't even know what that's like.
Do you think Thursday, that first Thursday of March Madness, is like the best sports day of the year?
I don't even follow it, and I'd say yes.
It's right up there.
Are you guys going into the office? Or are you working from home?
I'm a home guy.
Permanently work from home.
Oh, so you're literally just going to have your TV on all day.
Yeah, the nice thing is my TV's on this mount that can turn, and I'm just gonna turn my TV sideways. And
Instead of turning yourself sideways.
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna pull the Michael Scott where he pulls the plasma out and then pushes it back into the wall.
We got extension here.
Yes.
That's how Max is watching.
Like I said, it's this really nice mount.
I'd stand here and watch basketball for hours.
Oh, that's the best. All right, let's throw it over to our guy, Zain Bando. Here we go. All right, we got a very, very special guest here. We got Zain Bando. He's a senior currently at the University of Illinois. He is the scorebox operator for Illini Video. A ton of work. Check his bio out at Zain. It's Zain Bando Bando 99 on Twitter. Zain, how are you, man?
Good. Thank you guys for having me. I've really enjoyed listening to this podcast over the last year or so. I think you guys have a nice little niche going, and you guys should be very proud of. You guys aren't following them. You guys definitely should. Their Twitter account has gotten huge. It's a little over 18,000 followers. But so definitely check these guys out while you're at it. Thank you, Kyle and Ty, for having me on. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So let's jump right into it. Illini basketball. I know you're a huge fan. So before we talk about the Big Ten tournament loss, and we'll go over that a little bit here. We got to talk about the win against Iowa last Sunday. You were there. How electric was that atmosphere?
I've been to a lot of games at the State Farm Center, and that is the most electric atmosphere that I've ever seen. When I tell you that every single seat was full to the brim, I literally mean it. There was an energy in that building like I'd never seen. It was either win or bust that night. And when I saw that Barstool Carl was going to be there, I knew that Iowa had no shot. And thankfully, Illinois won. It's one of the best games I've ever been to. I mean, without question, in my 4 years there, without a doubt, it's the sweetest Big Ten win I've ever seen. Coleman Hawkins did a great game. The defense played well. They held Iowa's leading scorers pretty well too, and they took care of business when it mattered most, which was getting the final rebound, and everybody got to celebrate together. And then, of course, I got to storm the court too, which I'm sure you guys probably saw. That made Barstool, so that was a really cool moment for me. I had never experienced a game like that. That's one of the best games I've ever been to, and without a doubt, the sweetest win versus Iowa that I'd ever seen. It was almost 2 years ago to the day that they had played Iowa before everything shut down and the whole COVID thing ruined the 2020 March Madness tournament.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, storming the court. I mean, I've never done that. Me and Ty, we went to small colleges. If there was 30 people at the game, that'd have been a lot. What is the atmosphere storming the court like? That has to be just electric.
Yeah, I mean, once Nebraska beat Wisconsin, we had a good feeling that it might happen, but we were a little worried because I've only ever experienced one court storm, and that was my freshman year. It was 18-19. They beat Michigan State, and they were, I believe, top 10, top 5 in the country, something like that. That team made it all the way to the Final Four, and that court storm was cool. But I kind of hoped that because they were playing for a share of the Big Ten title, that we would storm the court. And what happened was, with a couple minutes to go, I saw a facilities and services manager who was working the game, and he went up to a security guard, and I could read the guy's lips. They're like, "Oh, we're not storming." And some of the security guards kind of huddled around, and they're like, "We're not going to be able to stop these people no matter what. Like, they're gonna storm if they win." So they kind of told everybody. And then with 30 seconds to go, I went to the corner. It's right out of like where one of the tunnels are, and there's like a little ramp to go on the floor. And it was me and another student who also uses a wheelchair. We both went over there, and the security people were like, "Oh, you guys are not going on the floor. You guys are going to get trampled." And we pretty much said, "We don't care. We don't give a fuck at all." We both stormed it together, and it made for a really cool moment. By the way, I didn't know about it making the TV until my ex high school basketball coach sent me a tweet from Barstool Big Cat that read the word legend, and I was confused. I'm like, wait, what is he tweeting about? So I'm sitting in the tunnel waiting for the players to come by. I wanted to embrace them and stuff. So I opened the tweet and I see it's a video of me. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I tweeted that clever thing that's now my pinned tweet in my bio. And within 10 minutes, it had, I think, over 200 likes, and it now has a little over 5,000 and counting. As I sit here with you guys to do this, and without a doubt, I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever tweeted. I never thought it would get the attention that it got, but it was without a doubt a really cool moment. I made the jumbotron a couple of times during the game. I made the jumbotron at the end of the game too, and it actually I don't know if you guys follow them on Twitter. They have about 130,000 followers, but brobible.com actually did a piece on me about it. So that was pretty cool. And I was also on another podcast earlier this week. So I've gotten contacted about it a couple of times, but yeah, it was a really cool moment, and I was happy to see Illinois win. The court storm was something I'll always remember. And if anybody listening to this is in college right now and they've yet to experience a court storm, I really, really hope that that any of you guys out there can experience a court storm before you're done with undergrad, because it's one of those moments that you'll never forget. It's up there. It'll probably end up being up there for me with graduation, for sure. That has to be the highlight of my Illinois basketball fandom, without a doubt, for sure.
I got to ask, going on the court, obviously fun as hell. How much of a pain in the ass is it just clearing off the court? Because everybody's on the court, like you can't move. How long did it take to clear out?
It's not fun. It's me about maybe 5 to 10 minutes just to clear out, because there were thousands of people. So it took me a while.
Yeah. Well, then I want to ask also, I want to go back. So earlier in that week, obviously you saw Wisconsin beat Purdue. Wisconsin clinches only a share of the Big Ten regular season title, but they celebrate. So I mean, essentially, yes, they clinched at very minimum the 2 seed, but they didn't outright clinch the 1 seed. They had a celebration. They're on the stage, wearing the t-shirts, cutting down the nets, all the charades. Why would a team do that if they haven't 100% clinched the 1 seed?
Yeah, I didn't really understand that either myself, considering that there was that scenario. And then, of course, they pretty much celebrated for nothing.
Yeah.
Because they lost their next game to Nebraska. And now you kind of think, like, why did you guys do that? It's like it would have made more sense to me had they not done that for Purdue and had beaten Nebraska. And then I could argue you doing it, but doing it
Mhm.
before you've actually taken care of business. And on top of that, in case they even forgotten, Illinois beat them head to head. So I don't know what they were really celebrating about, but yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then they get the 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament.
yeah, that was bizarre to me. That made no sense. And I mean, that's probably going to come back to bite them at some point. and sure,
Yeah.
and sure enough, it did because they lost their next game. So yeah, without a doubt, though, like I said, one of the coolest end of season experiences that I've ever been a part of. I mean, to not have the ability to go to games a year ago due to COVID, and to have the season that they had this year, and to cap off the regular season the way they did, it's easily, without a doubt, one of the coolest experiences that I've ever been a part of as a student there. And I think I only missed 3 or 4 home games the entire year, and they were all due to like just us being on break and all that. But yeah, it was a very fun regular season.
Yeah, no, I've been watching Illinois basketball my whole life. I mean, I think it might have been the 20 or 2005 run with D Brown, Deron Williams, all those guys that really set me onto it. But I mean, yeah, this was an electric season. But
Oh,
so we got to talk a little bit about Illinois in the Big Ten tournament. I know they lost. They shouldn't have lost. What are your thoughts on that? How is that going to affect them going into March Madness here?
I don't really think there's much to worry about. I think a couple of things happened. Number one, I think Indiana really had a lot to play for because they knew that if they had lost that game, there's a good chance that they wouldn't have a shot to qualify for March Madness. So therefore, that had a lot going for them. And then of course they played well in their next game. I think Illinois was coming off of a high of winning the Big Ten regular season title.
Scrap game.
So they thought, oh yeah, we're gonna coast, and of course they didn't. I mean, they played as well as they could, but they struggled in the first half. I believe that they shot under 50% from three. They did not play the way that they were capable of playing, and that's an Indiana team that they went to Bloomington in early February and slapped around on the second half. I think they won by 15 or 16 points,
Mhm.
if I recall. And I didn't think it was going to be easy again, but I thought, oh, they're going to win. They're going to win comfortably. They may struggle the first half again, but yeah, that clearly didn't happen. It just sucked that layup was in and out, and we couldn't finish the game, which was such a bummer. But good for Indiana. They gave Iowa the best game they possibly could the following day. And actually, that's a game that I thought Indiana was going to win because they were up. I think it was 5 or 6 points with only a couple minutes to go. They were up by as many as 9 at one point. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Big Ten championship today was weird, and I still can't wrap my head around Iowa winning the tournament title, considering that they were swept by Illinois during the regular season. So
Yep. They were a 5 seed in the tournament, and then they win the Big Ten tournament, and now they're a 5 seed in March Madness, correct? I
yeah,
believe they're a 5 seed.
in my opinion, they should have been as high as a 4, maybe even a 3, considering how well they had played the last 2 weeks. I was surprised with how low their seed was.
So I got to ask Wisconsin, it just overall, are you buying the hype? Are you buying them as a 3 seed making a run to the Final Four?
I mean,
Because I think they stink. I personally just don't think they're good.
yeah, I don't think they're good either. But if you look at their path to the Final Four, I mean, it's apparent that they're trying to set them up to make it as easy as possible for them to get to the Final Four. Will they screw it up? There's a good chance they might. I think they are a little overrated. I do think that Johnny Davis is a great player, but man, when you lose to Illinois in Champaign, when you guys had the Big Ten regular season title in your grasp in late January, early February, and you couldn't get it done in Champaign against a team that people outside of this region think is a little overrated. I think that shows a little bit more about Wisconsin than it does U of I. So yeah, I think they're a little bit of a joke too. Do they have one of the best players in the country? Sure, but that doesn't mean that they're an all-world team. And I think that somebody's probably going to expose them. I actually think Illinois might have the toughest road to the Final Four, considering that they'll most likely have to play Arizona in the Sweet 16. And if either of you guys saw the game in Champaign in early December, they are not a tough out by any means. They can shoot, they can score, they can play defense, they can do everything. They dominated the Pac-12 this year. Their record is very warranted. They might be low key the best team in the country right now going into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean, they especially, I forget their coach's name, but I know he's a first year head coach, which is kind of crazy to see them as a first year guy going or being one of the top seeds in the tournament.
Tommy Lloyd is his name.
Yes, there we go. Well, let's talk about Illinois. So first round matchup with Chattanooga, and Chattanooga's coming off that crazy buzzer beater to even get in the tournament. So they're riding on a high. They're riding on momentum. What do you see in that first round matchup?
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a tough game. In doing some research, they have some history with them, I believe, from 1997 or something. Don't quote me on that, but I believe Illinois has some tournament history with this team. Nothing impresses me too much. I mean, they have one conference loss, but if you really look at their overall resume, they haven't knocked off anybody big or anything. They don't play in a particularly tough conference, but they play hard, and they have some decent guard play. I think it'll be an interesting game. It's a game that Illinois can't look past, just because that's what they did a year ago, and Loyola ran into them and ended their potential NCAA championship dreams. Well, of course they did, but like how everybody had them, it was a huge bracket buster for many of us. I don't think that the Chattanooga hype is legit. I think Illinois will win the game. I think that the CBS experts are crazy to think that this Chattanooga team can make it to the Sweet 16. I mean, they're playing against one of the Big Ten's best teams and one of the country's best teams. I don't see how Chattanooga barely sneaking into the tournament warrants an upset in the first round. What do you guys think of that?
What I'm thinking of it is, I think Illinois losing the way they did to Indiana, especially in their first game in the Big Ten tournament, it's going to set them up to not fall into that trap, so to say, and not look past Chattanooga. So, I mean, I have Illinois in my Elite Eight or Sweet 16, right? Yes, my Sweet 16. How far do you have them going?
Oh yeah, I could see them going to the Sweet 16. I just worry about that potential Arizona matchup that's looming. They're actually Arizona's my pick to win the whole thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get into let's get into your Final Four here. So you have Arizona coming out of that is the South region. So who do you got coming out of the other ones?
I'm pulling this up right now because I don't want to get this wrong.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I do have Arizona coming out of the what did you say that was the
South,
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Purdue coming out of the West region, or the East region rather, for sure. So I could see Arizona getting in. There's a solid chance that you might see Iowa sneak in, but I really like Auburn. And I like Gonzaga, and I like Purdue.
So before you said Iowa sneaking in, how far do you think Iowa has a chance to go? So they're a 5 seed. They play Richmond, who I don't know what conference they're in. I know they won their conference kind of as they upset Davidson today, but their path would be Richmond, then the winner of Providence, South Dakota, then likely Kansas, and then Wisconsin or Auburn. I mean, I feel like their side of the bracket, that's a tough draw.
I could see them going to the Elite Eight depending on what matchups they get.
Do you think they could beat Kansas?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Kansas was the clear-cut Big 12 favorite. I mean, I like Baylor too, but I don't think Baylor is as loaded as they were last year. I think it's Kansas' side to lose, so to speak, and I think they match up really well against them. I would not be surprised to see an Iowa-Kansas matchup at some point down the road.
That'd be matchup of the corn. Matchup of good old Midwest corn.
Best corn. Who's got it?
Yeah, who's got the best corn? Corn on the cob. let's see. So you got a Cinderella team. Let's get like who was, I mean, I guess you could say UCLA was a Cinderella team last year. They made the Final Four as an 11 seed, but who's going to be the like the VCU or the George Mason? What team is going to surprise some people?
I could see Michigan State winning a couple games. I really like the way they played the last couple weeks. They have like a no quit attitude. Tyson Walker has been playing really well. He's been shooting the lights out. It's just hard to count out Tom Izzo in the month of March, and I think they're gonna win their first game for sure, and we're gonna see what happens. I think Davidson is a great draw. They're coming off a loss that's gonna motivate Michigan State to play better, and I think they're in one of the best leagues in the country. I can see Michigan State going to the Sweet 16.
Dan, are you a Big Ten homer?
I am a little bit.
No, listen, I buy right into it. What about a team like Loyola Chicago? Ironically, they play Ohio State in the first round, but we know obviously the sister gene run in 2018. Last year they went to the Sweet 16. They beat U of I. How far do you see them going this year?
I could see them beating Ohio State in the first round. I think Ohio State is slightly overrated. If you guys looked at their final couple of games, they did not show up and play particularly well. This is a Loyola Chicago team that gets hot at the right time. I could see them being a round of 32 team or a Sweet 16 team, depending on who they get in the rest of the field. But I see Ohio State having a short stint in March Madness this year and getting bumped in the first round.
I love that. And I've written every sport. I just fucking hate Ohio State. I don't even know why. I do. I love Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. All great quarterbacks were number one, but I hate Ohio State. They suck.
I can't blame you. I can't.
So you had Arizona. Who did you have Arizona playing in the finals? Gonzaga?
Yes.
How is Gonzaga never? I mean, they're always good enough to get there, or at least to the Final Four. I know they lost to Baylor last year, to North Carolina a couple years ago, but how can they never just get over the hump?
I think it's just okay, wait, before I even get into that, do you guys think that Gonzaga only exists a couple months out of the year? Because honestly, we never hear from them except for their basketball team.
So imagine being a student there and just nobody cares about your school until basketball season, until March. Then everyone cares.
It's literally the last couple weeks of February, and then obviously March, maybe till April 5th, whenever the Final Four is. But yeah,
they're the most bizarre team. I don't know. I just think Mark Few puts together so many good teams, and I just think his guys get so just burnt out because they win so much, and then it's okay, if we make one mistake, somebody is going to expose us. I think they're good for sure, but I just think their lack of competition in the conference that they play in comes back to bite them come crunch time, either in the Final Four or in the national championship. And I could see the same thing happening here. I just think that this Arizona team is they're so loaded. They have such an explosive offense. I just don't see how they don't coast to the championship game. And that's a team that I've been high on ever since after I saw them in person and beat Illinois. I'm like, this team is good enough to go very, very far. So, and I could be right.
I love that. I could be right. I just don't understand I just don't trust Chet Holmgren. He's 7 feet tall, but he's 190 pounds. Mixing a push-up or a cheeseburger or something. He should, when it gets down to the Final Four, I feel like he's just going to get bullied. A bigger team like Arizona, they're just going to absolutely dummy him.
Yeah, I think his lack of college experience is going to come into play too. What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like nowadays, just within this, I'll say one and done era, I'm not to say that veteran experience in college isn't warranted, but I think I'd say it's valued less. So I wouldn't say it's not a valuable thing to have. I don't put all my eggs in that basket where, a couple of years ago, where if guys were staying 3 or 4 years routinely, I would definitely have more faith in that. But now I don't want to say take it or leave it, but I'll say take it or leave it for lack of a better phrase. But
fair. Who do you guys think is going to win in the play-in games, the 11 seed games and the 16 seed games?
Well, to be honest, the 16 seed games, I have zero idea. I mean, was it Wright State, Bryant, and then Texas Southern?
Yeah.
I mean, those I have no idea. In the 11 are the 11 and 12 seed games, Wyoming, Indiana. I'm gonna go Indiana just because Indiana, they beat Illinois, they played Iowa tough. I mean, I don't know a ton about Wyoming. I'm gonna take a page out of your book and I'm gonna be a Big Ten homer here. And I'm gonna go Indiana. And with Rutgers, Notre Dame, I mean, I don't know. Rutgers are they're a good fucking team. They really are. They're a solid, scrappy team. I think I'm gonna go Big Ten both ways there.
Yeah, I didn't see enough from Notre Dame for them to convince me that they're good enough to go in and win that game. I mean, they came to Champaign and they kind of got whipped around in November. I know they played better since then, but that early ACC tournament exit might come back to bite them. And I think Rutgers wins the game. But I think out of those two games, the Wyoming Indiana game and the Notre Dame Rutgers game, it's pretty clear what the better game is. I'm gonna say it's Rutgers Notre Dame for sure.
Oh yeah,
we have two very similar styles of play. I could see Rutgers depending on who would Rutgers get next, assuming that they beat Notre Dame.
they would get Alabama. So the winner of the Rutgers Notre Dame game gets Alabama and Nate Oates.
Yeah.
I think that's another team that's very overrated. I don't think Alabama's good at all.
No, I don't think they're good either. It was, very, very much proven in the SEC tournament a couple of days ago. They did not perform as well as I would have hoped. I like Rutgers winning 2 games.
Really? Rutgers winning 2 games. Are you kidding me? I'll put money on that.
I'll put my house on it.
The Zain special. Here we go. A little parlay action. Getting to the round of 32.
Yeah, I like Rutgers making it to the round of 32 and losing to whoever that's going to be. Yeah.
That would let's see. That'd be, I guess, Texas Tech versus Montana State. So most likely Texas Tech then.
Yeah, that Texas Tech team might be the most underrated team in America.
So if Texas Tech and if everything falls, I guess, to the favorite here in the Elite Eight, it would be, or pardon me, in the Sweet 16, it'd be Texas Tech versus Duke. And I would put my house on Texas Tech beating Duke. You think I hate Ohio State? I cannot wait for Duke to lose. I'm going to be dancing on Coach K's grave.
Yeah, I'd love to see Duke lose in the Sweet 16 too.
I'd love to see them lose to whoever, Cal State Fullerton or whoever they're playing.
That would be awesome.
Well, Zam, let's get into
everybody's bracket if that happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Duke's good for that once every 4 or 5 years, losing in the first round. But Zam, let's get into our starting 5 here. So as our guest, you can go first. And so the topic today is just March Madness moments. So it could be anything you can imagine that falls under the March Madness moments umbrella. It could be a specific game, it could be a specific play, it could be, I'll say a stereotype sort of thing, whatever you want. Honest to God, whatever you want. There's really no rules.
Okay.
So you could kick it off. We'll snake it 5. So you get 5 picks. We'll go you, Ty, then me, and then we'll just snake it around and we'll kick it. You could kick it off here.
Okay. Archie Diacono's game winner in the national championship game. That's my pick.
I had that written down. Well, wasn't that Chris Jenkins that hit the shot?
Yes.
But Archie Diacono with the assist.
Yeah, with the assist, yeah.
Yeah, in 2016, I believe that was.
That's right. That was an incredible game too.
Yeah. Oh my! Was it like Page or Marcus Page? Was that his name?
Yeah.
The lefty from UNC. He with the 3, he double clutched it and hit it. Yeah, I remember that. All right, Ty, what do you got?
All right. I'll say this. Zan, if you didn't know, we have another co-host, actually, Max. He couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. So I am making picks on behalf of Max here. I am not personally a college basketball guy. I don't know anything about it. So these are Max's picks. So if they stink, we'll talk to him about it. Number 1 here for him, Illinois' 15-point comeback. Obviously, 4 minutes left in the 04-05 Elite 8.
God damn it. That was my first pick.
Yeah, I'm sure that was probably. I'm surprised it wasn't Zan's first pick.
Yeah, seriously, shit. That was Zan. How old were you for that?
Oh, well, I wasn't even an Illinois fan back then, but I think I was 4.
Oh,
Oh, you're
no,
that
dude.
young?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
if
I
he's
think
22 now.
I was born in 99. So, yeah.
I guess you've been 6 or 5. So yeah, young.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an electric run. Sorry, so I'm gonna start it off here. I'm gonna go George Mason's Final Four run in 2006 as an 11 seed. Just crazy. Like the George Mason Patriots. Who the fuck is that? Like, and just bonkers.
What year was that?
That was 2006.
Yeah.
2006 George Mason, huh?
2006 George Mason. My second pick, I'm just gonna go Sister Jean overall. She's just a legend in March Madness.
Fair.
Just Sister Jean.
Fair.
Okay, so back to me then on behalf of Max. Let me take a peek at his list here, see what he's got cooking. Where'd you go, Max? All right. He did have the Chris Jenkins that Zan has already mentioned, so I'll skip past that. We're going 2018, the 16 seed. UMBC takes down Virginia 75-74. First ever 16 over 1 upset.
You stole that one.
I apologize. We blame Max.
Yeah, we blame Max. That's a great.
Great.
Ty, do you know what UMBC's mascot is by chance?
I don't, but if I had to take a guess, UMBC. What does UMBC stand for? Even?
University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
It's probably like
nothing you would ever guess.
No, it's probably like the Burger King guy or something.
Like no, they're the Retrievers, Golden Retrievers.
The Golden Retrievers? Heck of
well, I think they're just the
mascot.
Retrievers, but I think their mascot's a Golden Retriever.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. All right, Zan, you're up.
My pick for my second pick would be Florida Gulf Coast mini run 5 to 6 years ago. That was amazing. I had fun watching that.
This is gonna make you feel old. I was actually looking that one up before I had it written down. That was 2013. How crazy is that? That was 9 years ago now.
That's hilarious.
That's so long ago.
FGCU. Wow, that was I remember that vividly. That was awesome. And then you have your second pick here.
Third pick, rather.
Our third pick, but second pick in a row.
Yes.
I would say another one I would go with is when Middle Tennessee State knocked off Michigan State in the first round in 2015, when Michigan State was a 2 seed. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I like those. Everything you're saying is just so like.
Anytime
I literally have this on all of these on my list. I'm just sitting here crossing all of these off.
Okay, back to me, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We are gonna go with 2018 Loyola Final Four run, I guess. Is just
that plays because I chose Sister Jean, but I chose the aura, the moxie of Sister Jean, her makeup.
Solid pick.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. Who was it? Jalen Suggs last year for Gonzaga, the buzzer beater.
Yes, that was Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs buzzer beater over or for Gonzaga to beat UCLA to go to the national championship. Craig, that was the Final Four.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So that was one I couldn't remember the exact game. Then my fourth pick is going to be whenever Duke loses in the early rounds.
It's awesome. My favorite one out of those is Mercer.
Mercer.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
I think that was was Jabari Parker on that team?
I believe so.
I think that's when I was writing this one down, that was the game I had in my mind, and that was Mercer and Jabari Parker losing it in his one and done year. Perfect. I love that.
Okay.
All right, Ty, you're up.
Max had that one too. He did give me some backups though, which is nice of him. You took the 2006 George Mason already. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was my first pick.
Okay. We're going way back, way back. 1979. No, is that it? What did he say?
1979.
1979. Magic Johnson beating Larry Bird.
Michigan State versus Indiana State.
Yep, which leads to Magic being picked first overall by the Lakers. It was the most watched college basketball game in the history of college basketball.
Yeah. Did you know that, Ty?
No, I don't know any of this.
I-
Everything you've said tonight is news to me.
I did not know the 1979 one, but I've heard of every other one. Probably because we weren't alive.
Yeah.
None of us were. Yeah.
Okay.
So then, Zan, you have your last two picks here.
That's what I thought. So, number 4 for me personally would be the 1989 Flying Illini run to the championship.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one, actually.
Then my and then my fifth and final pick. This is an underrated one, but one of my favorite national championship games ever was probably, I think this would have been, I need to see. It would have been, this is a while ago. You guys recall the first ever national championship that you guys watched out of curiosity?
Oh boy.
Um,
Probably what years? 04, 05 when Illini were.
To be
making
honest,
their
that
run
might
is
that might have
probably
been
the
it.
first
That's
time
the first one
ever
that I
watched college basketball.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that might be the first one that I can actually like vividly remember.
Yeah, I can't disagree. My favorite national championship was when Wisconsin went all the way with Frank Kaminsky. That was
Yeah,
my-
against Kentucky.
that was my favorite national championship. Or my favorite March Madness tournament, let alone my favorite Final Four, without a doubt.
Well, pardon me, they beat Kentucky on the way there. They beat Kentucky's undefeated season, I think, in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four, but then they lost to Duke, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah, Coach K cheated.
Yeah, he sure did.
He sure did.
He definitely cheated. I remember that game. I had Wisconsin. I got fucked. That sucked.
As did everybody, most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a phenomenal Wisconsin team. But yeah, those are my 5 picks for sure.
I love that. Those are great. Ty, your last one.
All right, so I'm out of picks from Max. We've used all of them, so I'm going rogue on this one. This is
Let's hear it.
my personal favorite college basketball memory is, I believe it was 2011, the Kemba Walker step back over Pittsburgh or against Pittsburgh.
We'll give it to you. That was the Big East tournament, correct?
That counts. I would say that counts.
It's in March.
Yeah.
Was that the Big East though?
Yeah. It was the Big East tournament, and you kind of had to win. I think it was like 5 games in 5 days or something like that. And Kemba Walker turned into a superhuman. He hit like 3 game winners in a row, and it was capped off by the Pittsburgh win. Yeah, that's still a game that people talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They show that like on this day all the time. Whenever it's on the anniversary of that game. It was like a week ago or whatever it is. Was that so? That step back against Pittsburgh, wasn't there a 6 overtime game as well against Syracuse in that run?
Yeah, the night before that, or something miraculous. Yeah, something that you wouldn't even believe today. Yeah.
So my last pick, and this is gonna be a very obscure one, but it's close to my heart because I want to bet a big bet on this one. This is from, I believe, 2016. Texas A&M was down 11 to Northern Iowa with like a minute 15 to go or something like that, and they came back and won.
And you bet A&M.
And I had A&M. And I remember I left the bar I was at when they were down 11. I was like, fuck, I'm pissed. Walked back to my hotel room, came back, and I saw the game was in overtime. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, that was awesome. And then it wasn't in that same tournament that Northern Iowa upset Texas or something like that on a last second buzzer beater.
Yeah. No, so this was the upset I had was in the round of 32. They beat Texas in, I think it was the opening round of 64.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
Oh my God. It's like little thing. I remember, and not that specifically this game, but I think I'm going back to the Jalen Suggs game from or Gonzaga UCLA in the Final Four last year. When Jalen Suggs made that shot, I legitimately just stood up. I was like, oh my fucking God. And like, it just, even yesterday when Jordan Bohannon made that shot against Indiana, I just stood up. I was like, oh, anytime there's any sort of buzzer beater, I don't care if I have money on the game or not. I am just going. I root for buzzer beaters. I love chaos. It's
Nothing
the
better
best.
than a buzzer beater.
Zan, did you have any honorable mentions, so to say?
Yeah, let me think here. I would say my biggest honorable mention that had me going, wow, this is incredible. I mean, I would have to give it to last year's Final Four, Gonzaga UCLA. That has to be not just one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen, one of the greatest games I had ever seen. I had UCLA to cover the spread, so I was happy.
I think, yeah, fuck, I did too, actually.
Yeah, I had UCLA to cover the spread. But yeah, that was a great game.
Now I have a soft spot in my heart for UCLA, so I have them going far. I might even have them in my Elite Eight. Hey,
Championship
Johnny,
round,
with
baby.
Johnny Juzang, and was it Tiger Campbell?
Yeah, that's right. It was Tiger Campbell.
Tiger Campbell in his like long ass dreads. He's like little guy, long ass dreads. It looks like he's just like the smallest guy on the court. Yeah, phenomenal. I love that.
Absolutely.
But Zan, thank you so much for coming on. You're a recurring guest, so you're going to come on again. This isn't a one and done. You're not a one and done athlete out here, all right?
I appreciate that. Before I let you guys go, are you guys happy with the recent Bears moves, or do you think they're making a mistake?
Oh, so no, it's funny. I mean, I'm the Bears guy. Our guy Ty here is a fucking Steelers fan.
Steelers guy, so I don't care.
Look at the pithead.
That's my number 2. That's my
Oh.
favorite team. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
With the you're talking about the Khalil Mack trade, them releasing Tariq Cohen,
Exactly. Yeah.
releasing Eddie Goldman. You know, I don't think those guys are going to bring the Bears a championship. I don't think those guys are going to be on the next championship team. So I have no problem with it. And to be honest, this might be or sound like a cop out, but it is too early to judge. And I have faith in Ryan Poles. I mean, it's very early. He needed to recruit some draft picks, and the value that the Bears got for a 31-year-old edge rusher he was injured this past season, missed half the season, but he was often injured the seasons prior playing with injuries. I mean, you got a 2nd rounder and a 6th rounder for a guy that's, again, like I said, not going to be on your next championship team.
Right.
I'm not going to, hopefully that pick turns into something that's, like a David Bell or I don't know, maybe they use it on alignment, build that fucking offensive line, get Sam Mustafa's ass out of here, and let's go win. Let's run the goddamn ball.
Yeah, that Tariq Cohen one hurt me personally just because I liked him his rookie year. So to see him get hurt and to see him not be able to play really bummed me out. I was hoping they would give him one more shot, but it is what it is. I think the Bears are in rebuild mode. You won't expect much from them next year, but I do think the year after that, if they can get the 2023 draft class right, I think they'll build for the future. I do think they have the right GM and Ryan Poles. I'm not sold on the coach yet. I have to see what Eberflus does in year 1, but I do think they did get the right GM. I mean, to get a guy from Kansas City who's won a championship, you can't get a better steal for a GM than that, in my opinion. So I think there's a lot to look forward to, but some of these moves kind of were close to my heart just because that 2018 team was a solid group. So to see most of those guys go from that year's playoff team kind of sucks, but we'll see. We're hanging in there. At the end of the day, we're Bears fans. We're gonna live and die with them. So we'll see. Next year, it's not gonna be good, but I'd say the year after there might be some hope. We'll see though. We'll see.
Fingers crossed, bud. Fingers crossed. But Zan, again, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. We're gonna have to have you on again towards the start of the football season.
Oh,
maybe after the draft. Maybe after the draft, we'll have you back on. We could just hopefully praise Ryan Poles.
I would hope so. Well, thank you guys. It was an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me, and I'm excited to listen back to this one. And I look forward to coming on many more times. You guys were awesome. Enjoy the tournament. And before I let you guys go, who is your Final Four, Kyle and Ty, if you guys have one?
So I have Gonzaga, Baylor, or No, who's the 2 seed? Is it Kentucky in that region? I have
Mhm.
Gonzaga, Kentucky, Auburn, and then Arizona. And I have Kentucky and Arizona in the final, and Arizona winning it actually.
And I have not even looked at a bracket yet.
Fair. That's fair.
So yeah, that's who I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, my championship is Gonzaga versus Arizona, and I see Arizona winning it. So
Yeah, I have a little future on Arizona, so let's hope so.
okay, I like it.
Yeah,
What odds? What odds did you get them at? If you don't mind me, if you
I
don't
got
mind
them at
asking.
plus 750.
Okay,
Yeah,
Nice.
so
I like it. I like it. It's a smart play.
if they get close, trust me, I'll hedge. I don't care. I need them to go far.
All right.
And before we go, guys, make sure to check out Zan's Twitter. It's Zain Bando 99, ZAINBANDO 99. Go to his Twitter, check out him and his work. And yeah, man, thank you again. Appreciate you.
Yeah, anytime you guys can follow me on Instagram as well. It's the same handle. I follow everyone, in my DMs are open. So if any of you guys want to reach out, my graduating senior still on the job hunt. I'm really looking for any opportunities. So if any of you guys are listening to this, need any additional work, I'm more than happy to step right in and fill anybody's shoes. But again, guys, thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure. You guys do amazing work, and I look forward to listening back to this episode here soon.
Thanks, man.
Great.
Take care.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. Seriously, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.